I'm going to share a channeled message with you. In fact, a few channeled messages with you. This is something I was told quite some time ago, and I have had a few channeled downloads, many of which I share, well, all of which I share with you. I want to talk about what channeling is and what these messages are and why they're different from other downloads. What do we call downloads? You have this ability. And I'm going to tell you why you have this ability and how to use it. I'm also going to share with you the ultimate thing that I was told, that if you just know this one thing and you live by it, you will go into a space of all-knowing, of all manifestation capabilities and abilities. You will go into peace. You will go into harmony. Yeah, I'm really going to tell you that. But it's up to you to decide if this is true or not. You want to hear my channeled message? Let's go. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through fear and live an amazing life. Breakthrough Fear is out. Breakthrough Fear is a channeled book. No, I didn't sit there and exit while somebody came in. I wrote when I was told things. What is channeling? I'm going to share the ultimate message with you in a few moments here. I want to explain what channeling is. We are one energy field. Therefore, all of us have access to all information, all probabilities, all creation. Every experience is you. Okay, all right, wow, too big to take on. Now, here's what I want to share with you about that. That means if we are all one energy field, that we are not imbalanced here. Imbalance or duality is an illusion created by us. Because we're that powerful. We actually create imbalances and chaos and all these things, which is just an illusion, because ultimately chaos can't be true chaos, because there's order in the universe that creates that. Channeling simply means that you are opening up a channel, you're dialing in like a radio station, you're tuning into the channel that has certain information. You're going into the frequency of that. This is why when you go and you break through fear, I'm going to talk about that in a moment, what that is. When you break through fear, you eliminate the barriers, blocks, limitations, the self-doubt, the self-limiting thoughts that tell you you can't do something, or you're frustrated, you're so focused on that which you feel is a limitation that you create it. So whatever you focus on, you create. So therefore, you believe that you don't have these powers, when the truth is, if you eliminate it, well, you just push it aside. These thoughts, and you chose these thoughts, you would actually be able to hear what's going on. You, if you're over in chaos or anxiety or depression or doubt, all these things, are in a stadium where there's a rock band playing, and you're trying to listen to somebody who's talking to you. The crowd is screaming, the band is playing, and you can't possibly hear what that person's trying to say. That's what channeling is. You shut it all down, the thoughts, the limitations, the noise, and now you can hear a pin drop. Channeling is that spot where that information comes through. It's not something special for special people. It's available to everyone. Now, we all have different talents and skills, and some are more enhanced than others, because we're creating variety here, purposefully. Otherwise, we would just be all walking around perfect beings, which we were before we came here. Even on the other side, it's illusion. We're creating different experiences over there. No two people have the same experience when they die, because they bring that energy field and the creativity and those desires with them, and the energy field that they created here. So we're talking about channeling. First of all, Breaking Through Fear. My book is out. I hope that you will go on Amazon and purchase it. It's your way of supporting me. It's very inexpensive. And it could help get the word out there and tell Amazon and YouTube and everybody else that this is what we want, is unlimited giving, loving, creativity, expansion, and a new world where we can go into that space, that frequency, where we can all access that amazing energy field, those answers, those inventions, that inspiration. We all want to access it by eliminating or breaking through the things that we've chosen to experience that we realize are false. And then once we experience them, we go into this space. I teach you that in Breakthrough Fear. This is a mind-blowing book, and I'm going to talk today more about how that works. Because when you realize the essence of you, there can be no other truth. Energy. You ready? This is the channeled message I got. I was in such a super high awakened state, I was actually functioning outside of my body. That's expansion. When your energy field is up here. Eckhart Tolle talks about this. The first time I figured out what it was is when I read his book, and I was already in a massively awakened state, and I went, that's what that is. You're so expanded into this quantum field, you have no limits. There's no barriers. There's no stories that you tell yourself anymore. And you go into this space and you're accessing everything. And it's beautiful and it's amazing, and you just are like overwhelmed with the unconditional love. And then everything comes to you. You can manifest like that. The manifestations I was doing back then were absolutely mind-blowing. My friends, it scared some of my friends, to be honest with you. It was happening so frequently. It was like if I walked in a room, things would happen. All right? So when I tuned into that, one day I was running and it started raining, and I stopped on an overpass. I got this overwhelming feeling, and I heard, you hear in your head, it was not a voice that I heard, it was a voice in my head, said, everything is one thing happening. Everything is one thing, and they paused, happening. There is no such thing as time. What does this mean? Everything right now exists and is happening, not as separate things. What does this mean to you? This is the important part. You're connected to everything. It is not independent. It is not individual. It is not separate. It will appear to be so that we can experience all that we desire to, but it is affected by absolute everything. Every thought is affecting every single thing ever has been, ever will be, is, has ever been, because everything's existing. There's no such thing as time, so everything's happening right now. This is how you can actually change your past. You can have the future affecting you. People in the future that are praying for us right now, with knowledge of this, can change what's going on right now. We can pray and change past events. Now keep something in mind, and this is what I talk about in the book. Why do these things happen? And so many of you who are like just loving, beautiful people, you want to help others. So you want all the struggle and the pain and the experiences to go away. But that would negate the purpose. We have to go through these things in order to triumph. It's like I said, if there was no ill person, the caretaker would not get to experience what it's like to assist somebody and be giving and loving, right? If there's no situation over here, there's no person that gets to come in and know what it's like to give of themselves and extend their love to someone. And this is how we become purposeful. Without these experiences, we can't have that, right? We wouldn't know it. We wouldn't understand the beauty of it or the differences. You wouldn't know what a cloudy sky is. If you've never seen a cloud, you wouldn't know what it was. So someday, a cloud shows up, you'd think the world was coming to an end if it blocked out the sun. So what we're going through is one thing. Your thought changes everything. Now, have you seen the experiment where a doctor, and I don't know the details, but I'm going to give you a generalization of it. This doctor had files. He had a couple stacks, random files that he took, and he prayed over one and for healing, and he did some focus on these files for I don't know how long a period of time. You know how this stuff works, right? He did nothing with the other. After a period of time, it was quite a while, he opened all of the files. The files that he did nothing with had the usual stats of deaths and people that never got released. I think it was mental institution. The file that he prayed over, almost all of them healed and or were released. The statistics were way higher. You want to hear the mind-blowing part? They were files from the past. Yes, they were not current patients. They were patients from years before that he randomly took. What is that? Did he change the past? Or did he already know something subconsciously? We can't be sure. It could be one of everything. So break through fear. I hope you'll go buy the book or the Kindle. I think it'll blow your mind because I explain the matrix, what downloads are. I explain what the awakening is. I explain what struggle is and fear, the ego, and the knowing, and why we suffer, and that there's purpose in absolutely everything, because if we're one energy field, how can there not be purpose? There has to be, because the all-intelligent energy field, the source, is all things at all times. And it's just one thing. I think the biggest thing we need to go into, because if you wrap your head around this channeled message, is that when you know it's one thing happening, you take on a responsibility that you are actually formulating everything that's going on and creating. And what you're doing, your choices right now, aren't just about you. Now they'll affect you directly. Imagine a pool and it's going out and out and out. You drop something and you see the waves go out. You're affected first, more drastically, but it goes out. And that never stops. And it interacts with other waves, right? That's how it works. I was also told, so you might consider checking the book out, I was also told that I had to write that book, that it was really important that I write the book and get it out. I think it's because what we're going through now and that people are ready for it. Everything is one thing happening. So if you go into that space, you realize how powerful you are, because you are the experience of everything, even if you don't know it as a human. We can't know it like this, because if we did, we'd go insane. That's why we have to appear as something separate. But I want you to know the effect that that has on you from an energy standpoint and what you have on it. It's equal. So no one ever has more power than you. It's impossible. It's impossible. Things appear to be varied because it's the illusion experiencing diversity, individualism, separation. But we don't have to stay there anymore. We can celebrate all of these experiences, all of our diversity, and see it as beautiful, because it is all the one creation. Everything is the creator that you are, and they are too. There is no person that's inferior. They may appear to be. That's your greatest teacher. Am I ego looking down on them? They are less than, or they're not smart enough, or whatever it is, we do it. Catch yourself all day doing this. In the book, I actually give you steps on how to move past this. How do you get out of fear? How do you break through fear? How do you go into that space of all power, all probabilities on a high frequency where you're loving and giving and you find it easy to do that, and all of a sudden your life changes and opportunities and things start to happen for you that are amazing. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope that you will ponder what I said, and that my downloads are something that you have access to. A channeled message is something, when you get out of the way, it's so clear and it has no agenda. And if it's on a lower frequency, it's not a channeled message that you should be listening to. Ask yourself why you're tuning into that. It's not something go, the negative energy is coming to me. I said, no, you've tuned into it. You have to be tuned into it. I don't get those messages. I'm tuned into a different station. So if you're getting negative messages, it's either your ego or you're tuned into lower frequency messages. Because they're out there. Because everything exists. So it's not something trying to torture you. Ask yourself why you're going into the negative space. Why you're connecting to negative energies, negative messages, negative situations. It's you. Because you're a creator. You are the one. It's flowing through you, so you get to change anything. Learn from it. Don't try and fight it, struggle against it. Learn from it. What is it? What is that? Why am I thinking that? I don't have to think that anymore. And you release it. And you're thankful for the experience. Because there is no good nor bad. There's no judgment of anything. How can you judge the creation of all things? It's beautiful. All of it. Can you let go of that? The labels, the judgment. Ye are all gods. These things you shall do and more. We're going to go more and more into this. So, I hope you'll subscribe and share my messages. These are free. You can come in to my list, and I've got some free emails coming over. Videos help you clear out, free meditations. And we're going to talk more about breaking through fear. Because fear is an illusion, but you can use it in a positive way. I'll talk more about that. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you. Namaste.